Welcome back to the channel, Brad Takes Flight, where we chase our aviation dreams. This is a massive week where I'm going through my CFI training and should be able to get to my Checkride by the end of this week. So whether you're a pilot pursuing your own training or just curious about the aviation world, you're in the right place. For those new to the channel, I'm Brad Moody. I'm currently at a Part 141 school in Smithfield, North Carolina called Blue Line Aviation. So this week will have me doing the rest of my presentations for CFI as I prepare to do the ground portion later this week. Along with that, I'm finally back up in the air after weeks of bad weather and will continue to press forward just like we will today. Speaking of, today is Sunday at 9:30 a.m. I've got a flight at 10:15. That flight's going to finish up my flight from yesterday that I had to incomplete. Every task you have to do in both private and commercial, you now have to do for your CFI. Not only do I need to be able to do all of these same maneuvers, but now I've got to do them from a right seat, which is a totally different visual profile. So today, on finishing up what I've been completed, I'll continue to work on my takeoff and landings, as well as those in-air maneuvers, and I may even have a chance to do one or two more presentations. I'll definitely let you know how everything goes as soon as I wrap it up. Wrapped everything up for the day. It is a little after 2 o'clock, so gonna go back to the apartment, rest up for a little bit, really try and recoup. I'm feeling pretty drained. Feels like we've been doing this for a few weeks straight now, so really just time to put my feet up, relax, try and get some good sleep tonight, and be ready for tomorrow. Today's flight was really good. Went through all of the maneuvers. There was a few that we weren't able to get to. Lazy eights was one of the maneuvers. I think we pretty much did everything else. Maybe the power on stall was another one that we didn't quite get to. Got to the cross control stall, and if you haven't done that one is super weird. Just kind of getting set up with that, as well as a slow flight and clean configuration, and doing your turns and altitude climbs and things like that in a clean configuration, so that's no flaps. It was really different trying to control the aircraft in that environment. So even though you're used to doing those same movements, they're way more exaggerated in a clean configuration. So that nose up attitude, I mean, you're like at 12, 15 degrees sometimes, and that nose up attitude, holding that clean configuration and then kind of slowly letting the nose down and turns and trying to gain altitude is definitely different in that configuration than it is in others. So really interesting to do that as well today. I would say my sight picture is getting way better. I'm starting to understand where the center line of the airplane is. The side loads have pretty much gone away at this point. As far as my landings are concerned, approaches are getting a little bit better. Just need to continue to brush up on making sure that I'm in that standard rate turn inside of the pattern, and that I'm using this new sight picture to its fullest, and have a good understanding of what my round out needs to look like. I think I'm starting to round out a little high again, instead of like really just coming in down at those stripes before I do my round out. It's kind of affecting my landings a little bit and causing me to balloon. I'm a little jerky on the control, and so getting that right hand to be as smooth as that left hand is going to be part of the trick now as we get deeper into CFI flights. Tomorrow, I actually don't have a training flight. I think I have a spin flight, although I think I'm going to get it switched out so that way I can finish up my lesson from today, work on my next lesson, and then push my spin off towards later in the week. We'll see how all that goes. I'm going to rest up. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. If you're getting value out of this content, smash that like button for me. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. So many of you are new viewers. I would love for you to follow along with me. Let me know in the comments what you would like to get from me going forward. I'll catch up with all of you back in the AM. It's Monday morning here at Blue Line. I have some lessons that are going to start at 8 a.m. Really not lessons as much as just starting up my presentations. It's currently 7 a.m. Going to give myself some time to get some things set up. Want to review some materials and go ahead and get some things set for my flight that should be at 1. This is going to be a continuation of my flight 2 as well as going into flight 3. I still have my first flight incomplete, but should be able to get through most of my second flight, finish that up. I just had like some lazy eights and power on stalls that I needed to do, and then continue on into that third flight. I don't have my spin training today. That's been pushed off to tomorrow, so that's something excited to look forward to tomorrow. Can't wait to get all this started. let you know how everything goes as soon as I wrap it up. What a jam-packed day. I got 3 presentations done. I also got my flight in. Weather was pushing in early on, so was able to get those presentations in. And then as the weather moved away, we were able to get an even larger slot. So I was able to finish up my last flight lesson as well as do my entire flight lesson 3. So we were up there for 3.6 hours today. Got in lots of good stuff. Did lazy 8s for the first time in I don't even know how long, man. It's been a while. All my ground rest maneuvers were pretty good. I was finally able to pick out some good points for my 8s on pylon, and that went really smooth as well. Did a rectangular course for the first time probably ever. I don't know if I've done another one outside of the one that I did today. Most of the time you're just doing them in the pattern to kind of get an idea of that wind movement and all that kind of stuff. Did a bunch of landings today. I did 4 power off 180s. The first one was like super long, and then they slowly started to come in a little bit. The sight picture is just really different from the right seat to the left seat. Luckily, I think the time away has not really forced me into trying to match up my sight pictures as much. And then it's more of just understanding this new sight picture, which is really nice that I don't have to kind of unlearn something to learn something new. Really happy with the progression. Feels like everything's getting to where I want it to be. You know, being right-handed, you would think that your right hand would be just as smooth as your left hand, but it's really not. Like, I've got to get a little bit smoother with my controls. It's taking a little bit of time to kind of, you know, be a little bit more gentle, trust myself a little bit more with my right hand, and not just like immediately get set up into something. Like, slowly get set up into it, nice and smooth, stay coordinated throughout, and just let the maneuver happen, basically. Tonight, I really don't have any homework. It is like 6:30 right now, so I'm just gonna go home, crash, probably take a shower. Like, I'm just probably tell like I'm sweating like crazy right now, so gonna take a shower, get myself refreshed, get ready to go again at 8 a.m. I'm supposed to have 2 flights tomorrow, so I've got my flight lesson 4 that's scheduled tomorrow along with my spin training. So 2 really big flights that should be a lot of fun. Catch up with you in the AM. It's Tuesday morning here at Blue Line. It's about 7:30 in the morning. My first flight is 8, followed immediately by my spin training. Super exciting day. Can't wait to get up in the air and get started. I think once I get done with my spin, probably get a little something to eat and then do a couple of presentations. We'll see who's available, as my check ride is actually scheduled for tomorrow. Not sure if that's still going to happen. I still have an incompleted lesson that I need to get finished along with my lesson today and my spin training. So I only really have time for 2 of those and a check ride tomorrow, like with this lingering lesson out there. I just don't see that happening, which is okay, because honestly, I'm still not 100% sure that I would pass my CFI check ride right now. And after my 2 fails in commercial, I really want to make sure that I'm paying attention to what I'm doing as far as my preparation going into these check rides. So don't go anywhere. I'll debrief you right here as soon as we're done. So going up to 40.
It can be smooth it out. There you go. Try to keep us straight line. Holding, pull it, and do a stall. Now wait, don't shift yet. Step all the way rudder, step, and now shift. 1, 2, 3, idle, left rudder, and pull up.
Johnson traffic, Diamond 514, Bravo Lima, left downwind, runway 3, Johnson traffic.
All wrapped up today. It was a good day, but I am like just shot. We did our first flight, was pretty good, got through on the maneuvers, feel pretty solid about them. I'm a little still shaky on my landings a bit. I'm hoping to get a little bit more work on those before I actually have to check. Then we went up and I did my spin training in the DA-20. That was quite an experience. It was cool to be able to get up in a naturally aspirated engine, just to like see the different controls and that kind of stuff. Working through, you know, how to actually start one up and check the magnetos, make sure things are grounded, all that kind of stuff, right? Going through each one of those processes, which is different than what we're doing in the 20NG, because we do run on Jet A, and so it's a little different. So that was really nice to be able to do. Then we started doing the actual spins. The incipits weren't too bad. They were pretty easy to kind of get in and out of. And then honestly, getting into the actual spins, the first two were pretty cool once we got those set in. Then after that, man, the motion sickness really started to kick in for me. We probably did 8 maybe total. It was a lot, at least it felt like a lot for me. So once we were down, I was glad to be down. Glad to be done right now. I think I still have some presentations, but I can't even right now. The motion sickness is just pretty strong. So I'm gonna take my time, go home, lay down, take a nap, wake up, and kind of work through some things. You know, presentation wise, make sure that I'm solid and good to go for tomorrow. My check ride's scheduled for tomorrow, but with my presentations not being done and that kind of stuff, I don't know if they're gonna try and fit me in anyways, or kind of how all that will work, but we'll just kind of see how it goes tomorrow. I'm not gonna be too worried about it right now. Right now, the only thing I can worry about is just recovering. So I was able to get some of that recorded, so it'll be cool to get some of that footage in here in the next couple of weeks and hopefully be able to share that experience with you guys as you know, kind of a once in a lifetime thing. So I'm gonna go home, catch that nap, and I'll catch you guys in the AM. It's Wednesday morning at Blue Line, currently about 7:30. I am supposed to go in at about 8 o'clock and do some more presentations for a check ride that is at 11 o'clock and goes to 4. So we'll see how everything plays out today. Not sure if I'll actually be able to make it through all of that. Like if I start at 8 and we don't like start going until 1 or 2 for the flight, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to, my endurance will last that long. So we'll just kind of see how the day plays out, and whether I have to do a bunch of presentations or not, and kind of how the flow of everything goes today. And maybe if I can get these presentations done pretty quickly and then go and start my check ride a little bit earlier, that would be ideal. We'll just see how things play out as we go along. Weather shouldn't be a condition as far as getting in flights today. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, forecasted to stay that way throughout the day. So I'll let you know how things go as soon as I wrap them up. Repping the day up, and I ended up not going on my check ride. I'm just absolutely exhausted. Yesterday, got done with the spins, went home, took a nap, and just wasn't able to get to sleep. It was probably like, I don't know, 1:30 before I actually fell asleep, and then I was only asleep for a couple hours, and I woke up and was up for about 30 minutes, and then only got another like couple of hours of sleep, and so I just wasn't feeling it. It's been basically 10 days straight of just going right now, and it just didn't feel like the right time to actually take a check ride, like to be able to focus for that period of time with everything else. I mean, the weather was perfect today, and I wish I would have been able to as far as the weather and things like that are concerned, but I really feel like, especially with the 2 fails already and everything else, like you just really have to focus. I think more than what I would have been able to focus on, especially in the flight portion. With my background in education, I could probably teach for the entire day without really noticing it too much, and get through all the ground portions and that stuff. I feel really solid about my knowledge base, but I just wasn't really feeling like I could focus in the plane for, you know, an hour to 2 hours, however long would it kind of turn into up there, to really have been able to execute the way that I wanted to and within my standards. So that's just my own personal standard. So I feel like I made a really good decision today. I did a couple of presentations just to kind of see it, and like they were a little sloppy. I was just saying numbers wrong, and I mean, I had them like there on the board and literally just said them wrong, right? So I think it just showed that I just wasn't mentally ready today to be able to do it. So tomorrow morning, I've got 2 more presentations that I want to run through my instructors and just kind of let them see these last 2. Feel pretty solid about that. And I'm just going to go home, take the weekend, like an extended weekend. I'm an ex-football coach, so it'll be great to go home and see some high school football this weekend. There's some cool jamborees going on in the area. So it'll be an opportunity for me to relax a little bit, and then probably come back like Saturday night or Sunday afternoon, something like that, kind of get myself settled back in, and then ready to execute on Monday. So I've already got my check ride scheduled for then. I'm hoping to get 1 warm-up flight in before that. I don't know who will be available. I might be able to do it that morning. It is at 1 p.m., so maybe that same day or maybe on Sunday. I'm just going to try and play that out. Tomorrow, after I get my presentations done, I'll make sure to get that scheduled before I walk out the door, so I've got a good game plan and feel really solid about that, so I can really just mentally relax and let go and physically recoup. So that's the game plan going forward. Catch you guys in the AM. It's Thursday morning at Blue Line. I'm going to go in, give a couple of presentations just to do my last couple ones that I really want to make sure that are squared away before I actually do my check ride on Monday. After I get done with that, I'll come back, give you a wrap up of how those went, as well as our weekly wrap up, kind of let you know where I stand with all my hours. See you in a bit. Just wrapped up everything from today, got through my PLT codes, and just kind of that presentation and how I kind of want to deliver just what I've already missed and get all that stuff out of the way immediately. And then also went through my area 3 that I'll need to present as well. And then did 1 extra one just as another mandatory, showing another student just how I'm gonna kind of present through all of that. I did get my schedule, so I do have a Saturday warm-up flight that is going to be at 6 p.m. So today is Thursday. It's about 10 a.m. right now. I'm going to go home, get a few hours with the fam for the next couple of days, and then come back Saturday and execute that flight, and then be ready to go for my actual check ride on Monday. So this week I was able to pick up 7.9 hours of flight time. That puts my total up to 157.8. So I feel like I've gotten lots of good flight time. I've got another one coming up on Saturday that I'm really excited about. That's going to be a really good flight, as it's going to be with a very experienced pilot here at the program. So I'm excited to get up with him before that check ride that is coming up on Monday. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know how your training is going. I'd love to hear about your stories as well. And as always, you can click this button right here to subscribe. This one right here will take you to the next video in the series, and you can check out the entire playlist of everything Blue Line right here. I'm hoping you're enjoying all your aviation adventures, and just remember, keep the grass off your wingtips.